press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, subject social science, topic ancient civilization, class 6th, okay. In previous class we studied about the Egypt civilization, isn't it? The political history of Egypt civilization. In this class we study about the contributions of Egyptian civilization. See here, the Alexander the conqueror. After the Alexander, Ptolemy was appointed as a ruler or a representative, and then he became the ruler of Egypt, isn't it? Ptolemy, after Cleopatra, took power, last ruler of this dynasty. Cleopatra was the last ruler of this dynasty. Now the dynasty will be go into the hands of Rome. Understood? Go into the hands of the Rome. Egypt became a province or a state of the Rome. Now let us learn about contributions of Egyptian civilization, or the aspects. You can also say that children, aspects of or features of the Egypt civilization. Okay. Wheat and barley were the food crops of the people of Egypt. Wheat and barley. Wheat and barley were the food crops of the people of the Egypt. The water of Nile was used for agriculture through canals. The water of Nile river was used for agriculture through canals. Okay, they knew the construction of the canals. They knew about the construction of the canals in ancient period. Canals means kaluvegalu. They constructed canals long back, thousands of years ago. They knew the construction of the canals. Understood? How they use the water? The water of Nile was used for agriculture through canals. They knew the construction of the canals. Okay. Men knew the agriculture. Our Egyptian civilization people knew the construction of canals. Okay. Another one bad aspects of the civilization, Egyptian civilization, that is slavery. That is slavery. It was a black mark of the Egypt civilization. Which was the black mark of the Egypt civilization? Slavery. Understood? Another one bad aspects. It was very bad aspects of this civilization was slavery. Understood? Slavery means what? Dasatva, gulamagiri, gulamatana. It was a black mark of ancient Egypt civilization. And then slavery means what? Dasatva, gulamagiri, gulamatana. The people were purchased by the rich people. Understood? In slavery, what happened? The people were purchased by which people? Rich people. Understood? Poor people or the poor laborers were purchased by the rich people. Understood? They took lot from the slave. They were illiterate. Slaves, they were very illiterate. They gave the punishment also. The condition of slaves are very pathetic. Means sorrowful, sad, miserable. Understood? Slavery, the condition of the slaves was pathetic, very sorrowful, sadfully and miserable. They suffered a lot under the powerful people. They suffered a lot. Understood? Under the powerful people, they purchased. Understood? The poor were purchased by the powerful people or rich people. Understood? The poor laborers were also purchased by the rich people. This was very black mark. Understood? This slavery was black mark of Egypt civilization. The condition of slaves was very miserable, very pathetic. They suffered lot under the powerful people. The large pyramids were built by these slaves. The large pyramids were possible, understood, because of these slaves. Women were given importance. It is very good thing. Women were given important status, good status in that society. This is one of the important aspect of the Egypt civilization or Egyptian civilization. Women had given respect. It is very good thing in that period. Okay, women had given respect and value in the society. The people of Egypt believed in life after death. The people of Egypt, they believed in life after death. Okay, so they preserved the dead bodies. Who preserved the dead bodies? Egyptian preserved the dead bodies. Why they preserved the dead bodies? Because they believed in life after the death. That's why they preserved dead bodies. Okay, they believed that after the death, there is dead person get the life. Okay, thinking like that. While burying the dead body, they kept so many necessity things are needed by the men. So they built tombs. Okay, they preserved the dead bodies. The preserved dead body was called mummy. The preserved dead body was called mummy. Understood, children? Mummy means what? Preserved dead body. The preserved dead body was called mummy. Isn't it? So they did not do anything. Okay. They preserved so many things. They kept daily need things also along with the dead body. The preserved dead body was called mummy. Mummy means what, children? Mummy means preserved dead bodies. Understood? In Egypt they called mummy. The preserved dead body was called in Egypt mummy. See, children, if you call your mother as mummy, it means what? You said very wrong. Understood? It means what? Mummy means what? Preserved dead body. Okay, you should say mom or mama. Okay, if you say mummy, almost you are calling, you are all calling mummy, isn't it? Your mother mummy. It means what? Preserved dead body. Mummy means preserved dead body. In Egypt were called as mummy. Understood, children? In ancient Egypt, each city had mummy means what? Preserved dead body. Preserved dead body. Understood? Mummy means preserved dead body. That's why you have to call your mother what? Mama or mom. You should say mom or mama. In ancient Egypt, each city had its own guardian goddess. Okay. In ancient period or ancient Egypt had guardian, or each city had its own guardian goddess. Here we see guardian goddess. Guardian goddess. Okay. Guardian goddess. Now each society had guardian goddess, isn't it? It means if you go to village, there will be, see, Grama Devate. Whole village will be worshipped one goddess, isn't it? if you will go to village, there will you be see, there will be you see Grama Devate, our whole village people will be worshipped one goddess, isn't it? In the same way, there were each society had a guardian goddess. Guardian goddess. It means what? Grama Devate. They believed that this goddess will look after them mentally. She will look after the welfare of the people. That's why they worshipped guardian goddess. Okay. Sun and rivers were considered and worshipped as gods. Sun and rivers also worshipped. Sun and rivers. Sun and rivers also were considered and worshipped as gods. Okay. Sun and river objects of the worshipped even now. Today also we will worship the sun, isn't it? This concept is now also existing. River means Jala, Gange. Even now also we worshipped, isn't it? Script is known as hieroglyphics. Script is known as hieroglyphics. See here, script. Script is known as hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Okay. Hieroglyphics. Script is known as hieroglyphics. Okay. Now what were the type of writings? The scripts known by the Egyptians. The scripts were known by the Egyptians were called as hieroglyphics. It means what? The script known by the Egyptian were called as hieroglyphics. It means what? Sacred. It means what? Sacred writings of Egyptians called as hieroglyphics. Understood? Hieroglyphics means what? Sacred writings of Egyptians were called as hieroglyphics. Okay. The Egyptian script is known as hieroglyphics, which means sacred writings. Okay. Now see how they write. Ancient Egyptians wrote on papyrus. They wrote on papyrus. Okay. Papyrus, there was a plant. There was a plant called papyrus. They wrote on papyrus. Okay. The ancient Egyptians wrote on papyrus. There was a plant called papyrus. Papyrus grass is said that broad leaves. Understood? That have broad leaves were there. They wrote by using how they write? They wrote by using the ink. They knew about ink also. Understood? They wrote by using the ink. They knew about ink also. Just imagine, thousands of years ago, Egyptians knew the use of ink also, children. For writings, papyrus came to called as later on paper. Understood? Papyrus came to be called as later what? Paper. I think that concept slowly, papyrus came to be known as paper, isn't it? Once again, listen here children, the script known by the Egyptians were called as hieroglyphics. It means what? Sacred writings. Sacred writings of Egyptians were called as hieroglyphics. Okay. The Egyptian script is known as hieroglyphics, which means sacred writings. Understood? Ancient Egyptians wrote on papyrus. There was a plant called papyrus. Okay. Papyrus grass is said that broad leaves were there. They wrote by using the ink. They knew about ink also. Just imagine children, thousands of years ago, Egyptians knew the use of ink for writings. Papyrus came to be called as later on paper. I think that concept slowly papyrus came to be known as paper. Okay. Now in modern days we used paper, isn't it? Now also we used paper for writing, isn't it? See, this papyrus tree was growing in plenty on the bank of the river Nile. Papyrus tree was growing in plenty on the bank of the river Nile. They had great knowledge of geometry. They had knowledge of geometry also. Geometry, which was used in buildings, large pyramids. Understood? You know, geometry in mathematics. You will study geometry, will learn about triangle, square, rectangular, etc. No need to say, you will study, they had such good knowledge of geometry. They used this knowledge of geometry in building pyramids. Okay, pyramids are the triangular shaped geometric buildings, isn't it? The pyramid built by the ancient Egyptian people, it is said that they build huge pyramid for example, large statue, isn't it? Pyramid. Large statue of Sphinx. Large statue of Sphinx. Sphinx. Large statue of Sphinx. Sphinx, it is the most attractive, understood, it is the most attractive Egyptian civilization or Egyptian architecture which was very attractive. Sphinx, it is the most attractive of Egyptian civilization or Egyptian architecture. The Sphinx is an animal. The Sphinx is an animal with the body of a lion, and the head of a man. Once again, listen here children, the Sphinx is an animal with the body of a lion and the head of a man. Okay, so we learned about how the Nile. In this class we already learned about how the Nile served as the flourishing and how the Egyptian civilization developed here, then the political aspects, isn't it? Their food habits, how they improved, how they built the canals, how the rulers improved the civilization, isn't it? How they contributed the architecture. All aspects you already learned, isn't it children? ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಯ ಕೊಡುಗೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಗೋಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾರ್ಲಿ, ವೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಾರ್ಲಿ. ಗೋಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾರ್ಲಿ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿನ ಜನರ ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಆಹಾರ ಬೆಳೆಗಳು ಆಗಿದ್ದವು. ಯಾವುದು? ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿನ ಜನರ ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಯಾವುದು? ವೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಾರ್ಲಿ, ಗೋಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾರ್ಲಿ. ಕೃಷಿಗೆ ನೈಲ್ ನದಿಯ ನೀರನ್ನು ಅವರು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಹೇಗೆ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಕಾಲುವೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರು ನೀರನ್ನು ಹಾಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರು ಆ ನೀರನ್ನು, ನೈಲ್ ನದಿಯ ನೀರನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಕೃಷಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಯಾವ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅವರು? ಗೋಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾರ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕಾಲುವೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಈಜಿಪ್ತಿನ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಲಾಮರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ತುಂಬ ದಯನೀಯವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂದರೆ ಗುಲಾಮರನ್ನು ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಕಠೋರವಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂದರೆ ಗುಲಾಮರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ಅವರು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅವರು ಗುಲಾಮರನ್ನು ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಆವಾಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಜಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಬಡ ಜನರು ಇರಬಹುದು, ಕೂಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರನ್ನ, ರಿಚ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ವರ್ಗದವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಆ ಗುಲಾಮರನ್ನ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅವರನ್ನು ಇಡೀ ಜೀವನ ಪರ್ಯಂತ ಇಡೀ ಅವರು ಅವರ ಗುಲಾಮರಾಗಿಯೇ ಬದುಕಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅವರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ತುಂಬ ದಯನೀಯವಾಗಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ? ಗುಲಾಮರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ. ಈ ಗುಲಾಮ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿನ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಯ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಈ ಗುಲಾಮರಿಂದಲೇ ಅಂತಹ ಬೃಹತ್ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಬೃಹತ್ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ಗಳ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಕೂಡ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಗುಲಾಮರನ್ನು ಅವರು ಈ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ಗಳ ಕಟ್ಟಡವನ್ನು ಈ ಪಿರಮಿಡನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆ ಗುಲಾಮರನ್ನು ಅವರು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್? ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ಸ್ಥಾನಮಾನ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಯ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮರುಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮರುಜನ್ಮ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸತ್ತ ನಂತರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನ್ಮ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಅವರು ನಂಬ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಯ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು? ಮರುಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಶವಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸಂರಕ್ಷಿಸಿದ್ದ ಶವಗಳನ್ನ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತ ಕರೆಯಲಾಗುತ್ತಿತ್ತು? ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯಲಾಗುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ಶವಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಈ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಇಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಶವಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅವರು ಈ ಶವಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮರುಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಸತ್ತ ನಂತರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೀವನ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಅವರು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನ ನಂಬಿದ್ರು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಮ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಇರುವಂತೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಗ್ರಾಮ ದೇವತೆ ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಇರುವಂತೆ ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರತಿ ನಗರಕ್ಕೊಂದು ನಗರ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಇದ್ವು. ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ನದಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ದೇವರೆಂದು ಪೂಜಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇವಾಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೂ ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಸೂರ್ಯ ಮತ್ತೆ ನದಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪೂಜಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಗಂಗೆ ಇಸ್ಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ನದಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪೂಜಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ದೇವರೆಂದು ಅವರು ಪರಿಗಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿಯನ್ನರು ಹೈರೋಗ್ಲಿಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಚಿತ್ರಲಿಪಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಯಾವ ಚಿತ್ರಲಿಪಿಯನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಹೈರೋಗ್ಲಿಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಚಿತ್ರಲಿಪಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಹೈರೋಗ್ಲಿಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಪವಿತ್ರ ಲಿಪಿ ಅಕ್ಷರ ಎಂದರ್ಥ. ನೈಲ್ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಪ್ಯಾಪಿರಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಜೋಂಡು ಹುಲ್ಲಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಸಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಸಿಯ ಬಳಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಮಸಿಯಿಂದ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಆ ಪ್ಯಾಪಿರಸ್ ಜೊಂಡು ಹುಲ್ಲಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇವರಿಗೆ ರೇಖಾಗಣಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪಾರ ಜ್ಞಾನವಿತ್ತೆಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಈ ಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದಲೇ ಅವರು ಬೃಹತ್ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿನ ಶಿಲ್ಪಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಬೃಹತ್ ಪ್ರತಿಮೆಯು ತುಂಬಾ ಆಕರ್ಷಕವಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾವುದು? ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರತಿಮೆ, ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟವಾಗಿದೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇದು ಸಿಂಹ ದೇಹ. ಈ ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್, ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ, ಈ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಯಾವ ಆಕಾರವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ? ಇದರ ದೇಹ ಸಿಂಹದ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಸಿಂಹ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದು, ತಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಖವನ್ನ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಖವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಮುಖ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮನುಷ್ಯದ್ದು, ಬಾಡಿ ಮಾತ್ರ, ದೇಹ ಮಾತ್ರ ಲಯನ್, ಸಿಂಹ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಖವನ್ನ ಅದು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್, ಇದು ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿನ ಶಿಲ್ಪಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಬೃಹತ್ ಪ್ರತಿಮೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಕರ್ಷಕವಾಗಿದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಇದು ಸಿಂಹ. ಈ ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ, ಈ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಸ್ಪಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಂಹ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಇದರ ದೇಹ ಸಿಂಹ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದು, ಇದು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಖವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಖವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದು, ಸಿಂಹದ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ಇದು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್.